Hi everybody, welcome back. So today is a non-ride day. Today I'm going to cook, and I thought I'd just share this meal with everybody. And what we're going to do today, we're going to do a poached egg with smoked trout and a potato hash. And you can see I've got my cooking stuff off the bike. I've packed in some eggs. I've got some dill, fresh dill. If you can't, you can always find freeze-dried dill. We're going to use a shallot, some garlic, smoked trout in a can. There's a couple different companies that make this, so whatever one you can find. Some butter. I packed in white vinegar, a little 15 millimeter eye drop, lemon, smoked paprika, and salt and pepper is in there, and that should be it. So let me set this all up and we'll start cooking. So I cut the potatoes down like 1/2 inch size, and if you go a little smaller it's going to cook quicker. So the bigger potatoes you cut a little longer it's going to take. We're going to boil these about 5 minutes. So let's start that real quick. We're going to let that boil for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to transfer that over to frying pan. It's getting close. Start boiling here. So we're going to take shallot. We're going to cut this up. I already peeled the garlic, so we're going to take peeled garlic and we're going to chop this up. We're going to use these two and the potatoes in the frying pan. So while that's still boiling, I'll start working on this. Just break these apart. Doing great. We're just going to transfer those potatoes real quick to the frying pan. Don't worry about the water, it'll burn off. Okay. Next, we're going to add in butter. We're going to get this going. Potatoes are looking good. So we're going to add in the garlic and the shallot. We're going to add in a little smoked salt and pepper. 2 pinches. And if you're wondering, yes, it's a little windy, and it's I think it's 35 degrees outside right now. So, all right, so the potatoes are done. I'm gonna move these over to the bowl. And now we're going to start working on the smoked trout. So smoked trout, if you've never had it, any meat that's smoked is pretty strong. So I'd probably buy 2 cans. Try this at home first. I'm going to use basically half a can. You might want to try a quarter of a can first before you do all this. I would not recommend, unless you really like trout, smoked trout, to use the full can. So what I'm going to do is use half the can, and then like normally I'll just pack in one of these stainless steel. You can find these anywhere, stainless steel, and I'll throw the rest in here, and then I'll eat it through the day. But yeah, so half a can. We're going to throw in some dill, and we're going to use a little lemon, a little bit of butter, and to get this going. Remember, this is already pre-cooked, so we're just adding a little flavor to it. So it's definitely windy today. All right, so we're gonna get that butter going. You're gonna start breaking down your trout in little pieces. This is gonna go pretty quick. We added some lemon juice. Cook that for just a second or so. Okay, let me transfer that to the potatoes. Okay, that's done. Now we're going to work on the poached egg. All right, as that water comes up to a boil, I brought in this white vinegar, and we're going to use about half of it. Like I said, I think this is 15 milliliter little eye drops. You can find these anywhere online. All right, wait for that water to come up to a boil. All right, looks like I got that water up to a boil. We're gonna bring the heat down a little bit. We're gonna put a little vortex in this. So again, water, you're gonna use a little bit of white vinegar. You could use apple cider vinegar if you have it. I would not use balsamic vinegar. It's probably going to change your eggs. So a little bit of white vinegar in there. We're going to stir that to get a little vortex, a little whirlpool. We're going to crack our egg. Hopefully get this right. And you're just going to keep stirring that. A little bit of vortex on the edge, just get it going. Bring the heat down a little bit. Just takes a couple minutes. Looks like that egg is close. So we're gonna try to pull that out without having to break. Looks like the wind has picked up horrendously. Always a good time to film in the wind. All right. Transfer that egg. Add a little smoked paprika. I can't talk today. Geez, smoked paprika. Ah, this wind is bad. A little bit of salt and pepper. Yeah. Now it took a little bit to put this all together, of course. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat this back up real quick. So I always bring in a single wall titanium bowl. I think this is 800 milliliters. And this way you can, if you're doing multiple or if your food gets cool, you can just throw it back on and heat your food back up real quick. All right, so recap. We just finished doing a poached egg with smoked trout and a potato hash. And with a little bit of work, you can make this out in the backcountry. You could do this, I think the idea behind some of these meals was I was just trying to figure out something. If you're like 3 days in, you're coming off the mountain, you go into a small town and maybe they just, burgers and pizza doesn't sound that great. You could go to the local grocery store and grab a couple things and put this together. Or like I said, you could haul this in. So, freeze-dried meals are pretty good, but sometimes you just want something a little different. So that's why I put this together. You could use this for, bike packing, backpacking, bike touring, and, maybe canoeing if you wanted to too. And so there you go.